Hey guys, what's up? It is Alina Alive here. Now, one, the lighting is not the best. And two, I'm still figuring everything out, so I might be messing this up as we speak. Um, and right now, it looks like the comments are on the right hand side of the screen for me, so I'll be able to see it. Hi, newcomers. So, as I mentioned before, one, this is my first time doing this, so I could easily be messing it up. Two, I didn't really mention this to hardly anybody that I was going to be doing this. So, hi to the people who were notified and who decided to show up anyway, like because you found out I was doing this. But I decided that I wanted to do a live stream talking about the foundations of digestion. And this is going to be something that's a video for you to come back to for future reference. But I just wanted to have like a chill late night conversation about digestion and a few different aspects of it and like how you can work to improve it. And I didn't want it to be like this structured thing. I kind of wanted to just have a chill conversation with people about it. And so I'm going to be going over about five of them. One of them includes the way that movement impacts our digestion, because it really does, the way hydration does. And with hydration, when it comes to digestion, it actually plays a huge role because naturally we like to drink a lot of water when we're sitting down at a restaurant. They automatically give you water. That's the whole thing that we're going to talk about. I also want to talk about proper chewing. Sometimes we chew way too fast and not enough, and then we have undigested food in our stomach trying to be processed by our stomach acid, and so much more. So let me go ahead and get into it. If you guys have any questions or if you want to talk about anything in particular when it comes to digestion, feel free to write it in the comment section below or to the side of you. And again, thank you for, I think I see one person here. Hi. Thank you for watching. And I hope that you learned something, especially if you're also watching this back later on. So let's go ahead and get started with movement. So right now it's nighttime, and a lot of times the evening is a perfect time to go for a walk after dinner. So naturally, a lot of times, I want to say even like 50 years back, it was relatively more common for us to have dinner around maybe 5 p.m., way before the sun went down. And so we had a lot of time to do a lot of other things with our life, even relax and chill and maybe go for a walk before the sun went down and use the energy from the food that we were digesting or that we had digested as energy rather than immediately going to sleep. Now, fast forward to today's times, and hi, new viewers. I'm talking about digestion and how walking and movement plays a huge role because I have a lot of people who ask me questions about how they can improve their digestion. And a lot of times we want to like be like, oh, I need this crazy expensive, fix it pill from my health food store. When in reality, there's some very basic, very affordable, and oftentimes free basic foundations that we can use. And I just wanted to have a chill conversation about it tonight. And I just wanted to be like low pressure, not high production, blah, blah, blah. So, like I was saying, fast forward to modern day when it comes to movement, we don't go for walks. A lot of times we have late night dinners and we immediately go to sleep within a few hours. And not only are we not using that food's energy immediately, and then it's more likely to be stored as fat later on, but we're not allowing our bodies to properly digest it. So, going for an evening walk after having dinner or after having a meal in general is really good because it actually helps with circulation to the stomach. Plenty of studies have shown that it actually helps with our body's blood sugar regulation and lowering blood sugar at a faster rate, and so much more. So, I think digestion and movement are two good things. So moving on to another one that also helps with digestion in our chill conversation. By the way, feel free to leave a comment. That way I can see it and answer any questions you might have about digestion. Next one is hydration. Now, like I mentioned before, a lot of times we like to go to restaurants and they're like, hey, do you want some water? And of course, we're like, yeah, totally. So we get iced water and we're just having a chill, fun evening, fun dinner, lunch, even breakfast, and we're drinking water as we Hi, Chris. I just got a comment from Chris Burris. What's up? So a lot of times we're just sitting and we're waiting for our food and we get it and we're drinking a lot of water as we eat our food. Now, this seems simple enough, but drinking too much water while you consume your food can actually dilute stomach acid that's there specifically to break down the food. So if we have too much water in the mix, it can actually impair our digestion and it can cause bloating, indigestion, and a lot more. And I've had people who aren't necessarily clients, but friends, people typing questions over Instagram asking me, like, I need help with my bloating, all this stuff. And a lot of times we go for all these over the counter supplements and all these things when all we need is to see if one of the habits that we're dealing with is drinking too much water while we're actually eating our food. So that's number two. For all of you newcomers, I'm talking about digestion, and I get a lot of comments and questions about what are different ways that we can improve our digestion rather than just going immediately to a fix-it pill. And there's a lot of free basic stuff that we can do. I went over movement, so walking, and I also went over hydration just now. So next up is properly chewing our food. Believe it or not, even I do this sometimes, especially when we're really hungry. Maybe it's our lunch break at work. Maybe we just have a really small amount of time to eat. And chewing also falls in the category of just relaxing while we eat. It's really important to be chill when you're eating. That way you don't feel rushed. That way you're not in a sympathetic state for your nervous system. And so basically, all I'm trying to say, it's pretty basic stuff if you think about it. Not to sound like, oh, it's basic, you guys should know, but basically what I'm trying to say is the slower you're able to chew and the more mindful we are and present with the food that we're eating, the more likely it is that we're able to make sure that our saliva, which contains enzymes in it that also helps to break down carbohydrates, is able to get to every single piece of the food. That way, when it travels down the esophagus and hits the stomach area, there aren't large chunks of food that was supposed to be processed by the salivary particles like the enzymes, and it's less work on the stomach. There's already things already broken down. The stomach gets to focus on the fats and the proteins. So slowly eating our food, being mindful to chew every last bite, can play a huge role with bloating and indigestion. Again, not chewing our food enough. Hi, Nisia. I hope I'm pronouncing that wrong, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've never done a live before, so I'm like, I feel like I'm really on the spot constantly. But hey, girl, thank you for coming and watching. Next up, in the same category of being mindful with our food, since I already mentioned chewing mindfully, there is also the aspect of just being relaxed when you eat. Now, if you're like me and you have lunch breaks that are 30 minutes, maybe you have a break that's 15 minutes, I know this can be really hard because we're rushing and we also want to check our phone and we want to do all this stuff. But taking a moment to get to a more calm state helps our nervous system get to a parasympathetic state. And that means that the parasympathetic state is associated with our rest and digest mode. Sympathetic state is associated with the, this is, we're live and I'm being awkward, but all I'm trying to say is that when we are in a relaxed state, it allows more blood to flow to our stomach and our digestive tract, and it helps to aid in a more efficient digestive process. It also helps you to be mindful when you chew. It helps you to become satiated faster. So it helps you to become more satisfied with the food that you ate and actually notice when you are full faster and at a more healthy rate than when you're eating super fast and then you're like, should I eat more? Because you've kind of rushed through it, not allowing for your body to get that message up to your brain. So being chill, calm, and relaxed when you're eating can go such a long way, especially when you're looking to find new ways to aid and improve in your digestion. All right. Hi to any newcomers. If you couldn't already tell, I'm talking about digestion and the foundations. So basically the free and basic stuff that we can all do. I wanted to have a chill conversation about it and not have it like be super high production stuff for a video. And I just wanted to go over some of these things because this is a big thing that I get asked questions about. And this will be a resource for future reference as well. So next, one of the last ones actually is eating whole foods. Um, when it comes to minerals and vitamins, they play such a huge role with the aspect of us actually absorbing the vitamins that we are consuming. So I've made videos on this before in that we can be eating the healthiest food, supplements and pills, but if we don't have the cofactors, if we don't have the minerals, and if we don't have the pH to ensure that our body is able to properly absorb and process those vitamins and those nutrients, then we could be eating a bunch of awesome things and still be deficient. So that's where Whole Foods comes in. A lot of times, people who are trying to sell you something will tell you that same exact thing. And then the end of that sentence will be, and this is why you should buy my minerals to add to your water. You can totally buy minerals at a health food store. You can totally buy vitamins at a health food store. And I feel like a lot of us definitely still need that. But the most affordable, the most efficient, and the most foundational way for us to do that is by eating whole foods. And especially if you live in the US, this can be sometimes not always the most common thing because there's so much highly processed food, especially if you're vegan, especially if you're on the go. So if by focusing on whole grains, making sure we're getting quinoa, brown rice, eating dark leafy greens, and basically looking at the processed versions of things that we like and trying to go for a whole foods version of that that's less processed, that increases your chances and increases the amounts of vitamins, minerals, fatty acids, and so much more that are preserved in the whole foods and not leached out in the process when they're in the factories trying to make sure that they can extend their shelf life. But yeah, so that kind of basically ends my live stream. It's not over yet, so don't like leave super quick, I guess. Oh, Beth just said, hello, thanks for sharing the details. Hey, Beth, thank you so much for watching, and I'm glad that you appreciate it. And I'm going to be leaving this up if you guys want to learn more. But just to wrap this up and to quickly review what I talked about, the whole purpose of this was for me to just talk about the foundations of digestion. And I didn't tell anybody that I was live streaming. It's late at night right now. This is basically the opposite of the best time to be doing this for optimal views. But I will make sure that this video goes onto my YouTube channel for future reference for anybody else who wants to watch it or if you want to share it with friends. But like I said, the purpose of it is the foundation of digestion and the topics that I went over that helps with digestion, that's free and basic. Oh, it's a bye, Wendy said, missed this because of time difference too. You're in Africa. I'm sorry. You guys, I'm definitely going to make sure to announce this and make sure that you guys know the next time I do a live stream because I definitely want to be able to interact with you like this in the future. But going back to what I went over to help you with digestion, the foundations that everybody and anybody can be doing rather than paying overly priced supplements, even though you totally can if you want to each his own. They included movement. Movement helps with increasing circulation, regulating blood sugar at a faster rate when it comes to digestion. The next up was hydration, and specifically avoiding drinking water while you're consuming your food, specifically because it can dilute the stomach acid and impair proper digestion and breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and more. Next up was something else that I mentioned was making sure to chew properly. We want to make sure that we're being mindful and present with our food, appreciating every bite, and a fantastic byproduct of that is that we slow down with our chewing. Because if we chew too fast, you might have huge chunks that were not chewed properly, trying to be digested in the stomach, and that can lead to bloating. Okay, Wendy just commented, well, just watch the saved live. Thank you for always sharing and the hard work that you put in. Thank you. There's been a lot of hard work going on, not gonna lie. I actually just got certified as a nutritional therapy practitioner. So I'm gonna be able to start taking on clients and I'm so excited about that. Anyway, let me just finish this up. Thank you so much for coming and commenting. I appreciate that. The next one that I did was make sure that to be in a relaxed state. You want to make sure that you are calm and that you are able to get into a parasympathetic state with your nervous system, because that allows for the blood to actually flow to your digestive system and properly just help for your digestive system to properly do its job without having to worry about its fuel, that being blood, being pushed out to different areas because we're in fight or flight mode because we're stressed out. So looking into breathing techniques, time management to make sure that you have allocated time uninterrupted to you eating. That's another great one. And last but not least, I mentioned it's important for us to eat whole foods because that is the most basic and the most natural way that our ancestors did it, that we get to do too, in order to access all of the minerals, the fatty acids, and the phytonutrients that help us to properly digest and absorb all of our food. Because with a lot of processed food, a lot of these things are leached out. And so we just get high glycemic, basic carbs that spike our blood sugar and that don't have those cofactors, the fatty acids, the minerals that actually help us to absorb the vitamins and absorb all the nutrients. Whew. All right, guys. With all of that said, that kind of wraps it up. I'm going to go ahead and read these comments right now because I'm seeing some pop up. I'm seeing, oh, that's really awesome. Happy for you. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. I have a comment from Benjamin. What is one thing that you have learned about the nature of reality? The nature of reality. That is some deep stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and take it because this is live and it's just like rock and roll. Also, it's late night and yeah. I think that what's something that's really big that I learned about the nature of reality is two things. One, the nature of reality is incredibly subjective. It's incredibly subjective. I mean, for the human experience anyway. I'm not going to go off topic into anything other than that. And then the second thing I learned is that we have a very, very synergistic and interdependent relationship with nature as human beings. And something that I wish I learned when I was younger was that we're not at the top of the food chain as humans. We are a part of an ecosystem and we are reliant on nature, just like nature is reliant on us and on insects and on bugs and on animals. So I hope that that answers your question, Benjamin. But yeah, all of that to say, I hope you guys liked this brief live stream on digestion. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and you're welcome to watch it back later on. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you. I see you guys there. And thank you for your comments. All right. Good night. Oh, you're welcome. I saw your comment, Benjamin. Bye.